Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
How sick rise in incest porn and TV obsession with taboo sibling sex is fueling vile child abuse in Britain. Incest porn and Hollywood's obsession with taboo sex could be fueling sick child abuse, experts fear. Specialist cops probed over 4,000 incest reports in the past 5 years, figures show. And over 1 in 5 rape victims who approached police in 2022 said they were assaulted by family. It comes amid concerns that taboo porn could be fueling sick abuse of kids and vulnerable adults. Now, experts fear that Hollywood's growing fascination with incest could put youngsters at even more risk. HBO series White Lotus has shocked viewers with a storyline of sex between 2 brothers at a 5-star paradise resort. The University of Birmingham's Dr. Sophie King-Hill, an expert in sibling abuse, warned, "Sensationalizing this type of behavior and abuse is unethical." One of the dangers of this type of storyline is the normalization of sibling sexual behavior and abuse within society, and those that are experiencing it being deterred from reporting, as it is seen as mainstream behavior. Using shock factor in a TV program, such as this, is doing more harm than good for those experiencing these issues. While in the past, Hollywood has shied away from showing incest on screen, it's a popular theme on pornography websites. In a recent study, researchers at Durham University found more than 150,000 porn films online, and 1 in 10 had titles with terms like teen or incest. Study author Prof. Claire McGlynn said, "The prevalence of incest-themed content matters, as it normalizes and legitimizes ideas of sexual activity between family members, particularly involving young girls. When these messages are consumed by millions every day, the influence extends beyond individual users and filters into broader cultural attitudes. In time, we may become desensitized, less likely to understand the prevalence of child sexual abuse or its seriousness. 40 years ago, only 3% of pornography was incest-related. An early study of internet porn by academics, in 2006, found that 1% depicted sex between family members. But by 2014, incest was on the list of over 18's website Pornhub's most popular searches. Prof. McGlynn warned, "The claim that incest porn is fantasy without real-world effects assumes incest is rare, abhorrent, but it's not. We need to ask, in a culture saturated with incest porn, are we more likely to tolerate, excuse, or dismiss the realities of incest and sexual abuse?" She added, "If we continue to allow incest porn to proliferate, we risk perpetuating a culture that trivializes abuse, undermines survivors, and distorts our understanding of what is acceptable in sexual relationships." A massive survey of Aussie men in 2023 found that an obsession with porn could lead to a sick interest in child abuse material. Child sex abusers down under were 11 times more likely to watch violent porn online, researchers found. Michael Sheath of anti-child abuse charity, the Lucy Faithfull Foundation said, "Many of the men I work with describe how as young adults they relied on pornography for entertainment, distraction, and escape. They describe how a lot of the material they viewed was misogynistic and exploitative, even if it was legal." He warned, "Searches for legal pornography may shift over time to fetishistic pornography, teen pornography, and sometimes even to child sexual abuse material in a series of imperceptible steps." Incest was first officially made a crime in England and Wales in 1908, with ministers worried about the disastrous consequences for children born from incestuous relationships. It remained an offense until in 2003, Tony Blair's government brought in new crimes of sexual activity with child or adult family members. Official Home Office statistics show that 888 people were arrested for incest or having sex with family in 2022. The latest year data is available. But around a fifth of the almost 70,000 rape allegations reported to cops that year involved victims who were related to their attacker. That rose to 37% of male rape victims. But prosecutions for incestuous relationships remain rare. Incest refers to sexual activity between close family members, such as siblings, parents and children, or grandparents and grandchildren. Analysis of court documents by The Sun suggests that 4 people have appeared in court since November charged with having sex with adult family members. A further 2, including a woman, face incest charges, dating back to the 1990s. The cases can be difficult to prosecute, with barristers and judges navigating a complex family dynamic. Top Silk John Hardy KC said, "As a barrister, you have to keep in mind the need for objectivity and not appear sympathetic to one party over another. The impact of the abuse can last a lifetime." Sick Jehovah's Witness Dennis Cotty, from Wiltshire, was too ill to go to jail after a jury found him responsible for 12 counts of sexually assaulting his daughters in the 1980s. His son Jacques was locked up for almost 4 years for incest. Cotty's younger daughter, abused by him from the age of 4, said after the trial, "Justice for me was not a search for a long sentence, it was a search for closure and the truth." 4 decades on from her awful ordeal, she said, "I grew up unable to talk to him in a way that a normal daughter-father relationship should. It is sad that, as he has got older, he couldn't say sorry for his actions." Some men have claimed they are unable to stop committing incest. Robert Cole, from Melksham, Wilts, was jailed for 18 months in 2020 after CCTV caught him performing a sex act on his estranged daughter, who was also charged with sex with an adult family member. The claim that incest porn is fantasy, without real-world effects, assumes incest is rare, abhorrent. He was sent back to prison 3 years later for having sex with a second daughter, with the judge branding it a dreadful act. Cole's barrister suggested he was the victim of genetic sexual attraction, a psychological flaw that results in close relatives falling in love. That supposed psychological condition has been debunked by scientists. Dr. Sophie King-Hill of the University of Birmingham said, "Portraying this behavior as biologically expected is incredibly damaging. If genetic sexual attraction is used as a reason for these behaviors, it risks normalizing something that is damaging and abusive."